Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, John and Nez here. Apologies right now, having some tech lore difficulties for my boomer ass right now, but we're here. We're good. I think we got it all taken care of. I'm not gonna do it to you guys. You heard it enough yesterday. I'm not coming on here and I'm not gonna start talking about fucking tight ends like everybody else. We're not going back to the well on National Tight End Day. Took enough of a beating yesterday to have National Tight End Day, and then all my tight ends in McBride, Bowers, and Taysom not find the end zone. Yet every other tight end on planet Earth did. I really wanted to start with one thing that kind of sentimental. Don't get me wrong. Go into the feels for a second here. I'm breaking this on here, but this is kind of what it's all about now for me, for us in general there. Nez is something that took place in the Discord on Friday night. And it was Brendo who gave us a shout out within the Discord, within the Puck Streets, of like, thank you guys so much. My process is the way it is because of you guys. And, I'm out here smelling the roses with my kid, but I'm also shipping a puck slate at the same time with the principals. And for me, Nez, that's why we do this show. And it's been so great to see the community have so much success over the last calendar year and stuff, but also the implementation of some of like the healthy lifestyle stuff associated with playing on Underdog, with playing these kind of games.
I mean, John, the whole point of that was that the model crushed.
True. The model did
cool. Yeah, we get to see our family and stuff, and we smell the roses. The point is that the McDust fade won Brendo a slate. You're bearing the lead here, my guy.
Oh man, the model is still undefeated, man. Fun weekend in the NFL there. Obviously, as I alluded to, all the tight ends smashed there. We got a winner circle on here. We got Dan, who's a very interesting guest because he said he hasn't been grinding this all that long and has found some immediate success. So happy to get to some of that. But I'd ask you, Nez, how did your Sunday go yesterday?
How they always go, dude. Not good. Thankfully, I didn't get to thankfully we'll say, I didn't get to watch a lot of the games yesterday. Had a pretty busy day yesterday. It's been just a pretty busy last couple weeks for me, but yesterday was helping Bria out with some stuff. So I didn't get to watch a lot of the games, but yeah, man, I didn't get home. If Javonte Williams wouldn't have completely sold on me though, I would have had a real, you would have been seeing me up and down the Wildcat. I was 10 Javonte Williams points away. I mean, I know that's a lot, but a touchdown there puts me into profitability for the first time in a long time. Didn't happen. Total dust from Javonte. But I mean, if you were to watch our shows back, I feel like we did a pretty good job on some of the calls, but the plays when it comes to putting up or shutting up, not making money yet.
Very weird slate where the highest scoring wide receivers on the slate were both super scroll the F downs and were basically only Dawg Bowl plays kind of thing. But people found their way to them with scrolling in the BR there. But weird week in terms of high scoring wide receivers being Chase with 15 and stuff like that within your conventional player pool, and then the tight ends popping off in such a big way. And it was, as the S words alluded to over the week there, Nez, it was in fact a naked quarterback style week as well, the Devontae skinny stack got there, but or
naked, I guess QB week if you played Hurts for sure.
Yeah, if you played Hurts, basically.
I mean, it seems like a lot of these slates lately. I mean, there's one answer at least at every position, and it's that's it.
Yeah.
And it's you have to have that, or you're on the outside looking in. And it is what it is, but it's made for some very, very tough weeks. I mean, for me especially, I had a couple nice Hurts teams, but just not good enough, but like it was no hurts, no cash, and then it's just been a very strange NFL season where there's just like not a lot of like wiggle room
Right.
to make money, and it feels
Yeah.
like that wasn't always the case.
Well, I think the field's also getting incredibly sharper, and there's more people playing more volume, and the field sizes are bigger, like just in general. So a lot of that stuff contributes to why this is happening, right? Like
Well,
people
then
are
surely
getting
last
to.
week the grinders must have crushed, right?
Well, that was
Like I don't
the
think it has anything to do necessarily with like the games evolving. I think it's the NFL season itself, don't you think?
yes and no. Yeah, yes and
I mean,
no.
what is I guess I don't see the correlation there, but
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. Last week was like the bloodbath of all bloodbaths, where none of the projection bros kind of got home. This week, the projection bros got home. It was just in slightly less conventional fashions, where like we needed less of the skinny stack stuff, we needed less of the bring back stuff, and we just needed more of the isolated plays. But the projection bros got home in a big way because Jalen Hurts was QB2 in a lot of models, and he was QB 2 or 3 on the site, or he was three or four on the site sometimes, right? Yeah. Anyways, I just like Kate Otten was popping for like everyone. I played no Kate Otten, and I was like IKB that, and that's obviously what you needed. And yeah. Anyways, we could do more of the slate deep dive here. Kind of annoying, Nez, that I can't bring up some of the screenshot. I'm share stuff. I'm getting tech lorded to death here. But just before we bring on Dan for the winner circle here, got to shout out another member of the community, DFS King A24, who took down a Dawg Bowl seat of his own there. And then speaking of the Dawg Bowl, Hot Sauce, who had a 8K hoops win, I believe, either Friday or Saturday night there. Got to pay some respect to him. There is tied for third right now. And I say right now because this Dawg Bowl seat has been yet to be determined. The third place one, for the first time ever, we had two players tie for third place in Crutches and in Hot Sauce there. So they're going to have a head-to-head at some point in time this week. I kind of want it to be like make an event out of it kind of thing, but I think it'll be on their time frame, like when they can get this done. But they're going to be playing a head-to-head 1v1 for a Dawg Bowl seat this week, which is a very, very cool wrinkle that we have yet to see there. I mean, it's pretty wild. We could talk through some of like, maybe we'll do like a cash game style one on the site here, Nez, over the course of the week here to like forecast what we would do in their shoes. I think it's going to take place on Friday or something there. But then I wanted to say shout out to Ciroc too, who took down a 5K. Coco was in our Discord, took down a 5K, second place in the Wildcat there. So just, man, good vibes all around for the community this weekend.
Yeah, love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Man, we were so close on some of the off and on the clock pick'em stuff too. Damn.
I know. It's just like
accurate.
As always, right? On the tombstone.
All right, let's do this, man. We've left our special guest behind closed doors too long. Right now, Nez, are you going to be on the ones and twos here?
Yeah, I got him.
All right. I'll click the circle. I'm good at clicking the circle.
Okay, you are very good at that. Are you
right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Count it down, baby.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
There it is. Hey. Welcome to Dallas, Dan. Love to see it, man. We got some good news. We got some good news this week that we will officially be there. So we will be hanging out with you for sure there. So welcome, my friend. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. It's been a crazy last 24 hours, crazy slate.
Were you a hashtag sweat the games guy? Were you sitting on your hands there on Sunday afternoon?
I have tried to get better. After the main or the early slate, I normally will check, but like during, I'm like, all right, whatever happens, happens. Like all my drafts are already done. Like there's no need to sweat it. But it ended up being a sweat after the early slate.
Very nice, dude. Congratulations. We'll bring up the lineup in a second here, talk through it. But just want to get to know you a little bit. How long you been playing on the platform? Do you only play football? What are you into? Do you play lots of volume? What's your vibe?
Yeah, so I got started on Underdog last year. I think I did 90 BBM teams, and that was like my first intro to Underdog of any kind. And then this year, once I hit week 2, I was like, you know what? I need to start doing some of this daily stuff. I find it like really interesting because I'm a numbers guy in general,
Mhm.
and I think a lot of it is projection based, right? So um, yeah, and then week 2, I started dabbling in BRs and like the Wildcat and stuff. And then once I got to week 5, I was trying to like kind of, I guess, find my routine, find my process, and then I started maxing BRs, maxing pretty much as I could, and started putting in the volume.
Nice, dude. Well, that's awesome. Good to hear there. You said primarily BR stuff. How many dog bowls a week have you been trying to get down?
Yeah, so this is the first week where I actually put together like a decent amount, I guess. I didn't even come close to maxing it. I only had 30 this week, and I did
Mhm.
5 last week, and that's all I've done for the Dog Bowl.
That's sweet,
Yeah.
sweet ROI on 35 entries. Oh, what it'd be
Yep.
like, eh, Nez? What it'd be like.
You'd love to see it. So what was about this week that made you want to put in 35?
Just I think that my process was getting a little bit closer to what I wanted to see. Like last week, I got smacked. I think everybody pretty much did. Like you pretty much just had to have mixing Gibbs, and I faded both of them. But then the week prior, I had a lot of success. What was it? Week 6, I think I was like 6 Jordan Mason points away from shipping the BR.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, the results are like they're really, really close.
Mhm.
They're really close to what I want to see. And yeah, this week I kind of went into it with like just fading the early running backs, which ended up being a pretty positive thing, and just like the scroll the F down receivers. Even though that wasn't what the winning lineup looked like, because I did have Jamar Chase.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think just the volume I put in was a product of me feeling more comfortable.
Nice, dude. Well, that's awesome. Love to see the evolution of a player on the site because we've talked about it so much. How like once you get in here playing the season long stuff, like that's what brings the people in, chasing that BBM. Once you get in here, it's like, oh yeah, we could be doing this. We could be doing BBM every single day. Yeah, I'm about it. That's it's fun, man. Good to hear you having some immediate success there. What about your process in particular? Would you attribute some of that early success to?
Yeah, so I've been trying to do my own projections. My
Oh,
education is like largely based in data analytics. I went to Syracuse for sport analytics.
oh,
So I started using that kind of knowledge to my advantage, I guess,
mhm.
which ended up working out very well with this slate. I had Jalen Hurts as my QB1 this week.
Ooh.
Um, so I attacked him like crazy, and I hit up Nez earlier in the week and was like, okay, AJ Brown is my 101.
Ooh.
And yeah, and then I started to shift over to, okay, Jamar Chase is my 101. So I was just taking wide receiver first and pretty much fading all the running backs. Um, but yeah.
Nice, dude. Very nice. Okay, so talk me through what goes into building your own projections because for the most part, for the majority of us outside of maybe like Awin who does a little bit of the ball knowing stuff there, most of us are just kind of like amalgamating other sources that we deem are pretty smart. So like what goes into getting Jalen Hurts to be your QB1 for this isolated slate? What goes into some of the back end stuff?
Yeah, so it's mostly just like looking at opponent like defensive metrics and stuff like
Hmm.
that, just compiling them. For quarterbacks, receivers, and tight ends, it's a lot of like, or at least wide receivers, tight ends, it's a lot of just target share rates and inputting some of that stuff in there. And shadow matchups, taking that heavily into account, what the passes look like.
Okay.
And for running backs, it's really just efficiency metrics. Running backs, I think, are probably the hardest to evaluate on a week to week basis outside of tight ends.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's not a super complex thing. Maybe, after this, I might put some more work into it, but it worked for this week, so I can't complain.
Damn right it did. It's worked better than anything I've tried. So good, man.
Yeah. So, are you mainly a football guy on the platform, or have you ventured into some of the other sports there for the audience?
Yeah, so I guess right now I'm primarily football, but like heart of hearts, I'm a baseball guy, like through and through. I actually
Oh, we
did not
found
start.
one. We found one.
I didn't start watching the NFL full time until 3 years ago.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I got really into it. I loved it. I was always a baseball and basketball guy. But BBM kind of got me into thinking more along the lines of like football and like the strategy behind it, which I fell in love with like right away.
No, that's awesome, dude. This is it's kind of scary for the people on the platform to find out that you're having immediate success in what may not be your best sport. This does not bode well for my future ROI in the baseball streets. But mad respect to it, man. Nez, you want to do me a favor? Let's bring up the lineup here and kind of just walk through what took place in the contest itself.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to get the overlay up?
I got you.
Perfect.
There we go.
Here we go. Can you
Nice.
see that all right?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, cool.
I see Jalen Hurts. I see which QB1 for our boy here. Then I see Jonathan Taylor. I see Jamar Chase. I see a Devonta Smith mini stack there. I see the Cedric Tillman one off, and then I see the big 24 ball from Cade Otton, tight end. You had to have. Okay, so you already talked us through wide receiver early this week and the Jalen Hurts stuff. Can you talk us through the Tillman play, the Cade Otton play? And what led you to Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, so Cade Otton was mostly like, okay, I don't think Baker Mayfield is gonna just fall off the earth without
Yeah.
Evans and Godwin. Like I was all over that. I also, I guess, in a similar vein, like Jameis Winston, I don't think he's that bad. Like he's a pick machine, but he at least generates offense, right? So
Hmm.
I didn't mind going for the Cedric Tillman one off in that spot. It was honestly, it was between him and Lad McConkey. I was trying to target the crap out of either one of them
Yeah.
in each dog bowl that I did, and obviously that panned out either way. But it ended up being Tillman with this one, and then JT. I just thought that it was more of like a I want more shares of JT type of thing than he projected super well with me.
Yeah, he was my highest owned player this week. Played a lot of JT just because the price point relative. Plus, I thought that game environment could get pushed a little bit. Didn't end up happening, but I was on the JT stuff with you there as well. Nez, can we compare it to the top lineup there? Our other player who got through DFS King there. Just want to see. He had Swift in there. Also had the Tillman one. He had your boy Ladd and Tillman in the same lineup there. I saw this one. DFS King only had 2 bullets in the contest
Wow.
and takes it down with this one. Yeah, pretty wild stuff there. Yeah, man. Let's talk through it, Dan. What have you learned from football? Because you've obviously had some immediate success here. Do you care about ADP? Do you care about your cumulative ownership stuff? Like, what have you learned in being so fresh to these contests?
Yeah, so within the last couple weeks, I think like diversification is key. At least it has been for me.
Okay.
Um, I there are spots that I want to target, obviously, and maybe those will be my highest share rates. But at the same time, like I just kind of want board coverage
Mhm.
more than anything. I feel like that has given me the most success over the last couple weeks, even outside of the Dog Bowl. Um, but that is probably like the primary thing is just diversification. I'm not really like into ADP. I think especially using projection model now, it's like, okay, I just want to go out and get my guys. Like I know who I like. I'm going to go out and get those guys.
Nice. Yeah. So when you say that, do you like formulate the board in your mind before going into a draft? Like, hey, I got to get Jalen Hurts at 15, even though I know he's going at 24, kind of thing. Like, do you pre-plan kind of round by round targets?
Yeah, definitely more with BRs like Dog Bowl. The whole 12 team aspect totally new to me. So
Uh-huh.
it's like I had to structure things a little bit different. But yeah, that's I yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It
What is
seems like this was. I was going to say with this draft, it seems like this was done later in the week, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was done at
guess?
4:30 in the morning on Sunday.
Ooh,
4:30.
beautiful.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Team no sleep. That's crazy. I say that just based on the K-Dot and ADP, which I just thought did never moved quite enough. I want to give you a +1 for the Tillman pick. I was like, so I did a lot of drafts before Wednesday, which I like to do before like ETR comes out, and then people start to formulate around that. And I thought Tillman was going to be like drafted way more. And then I started drafting toward closer to Sunday. And I'm like, man, this guy is still like widely available. The box score looked good. And, hearing a lot of smart people talk about that, that really grinded the film, like kudos to like JM on Pete's show, Block Party, was just talking about how they just like schemed up touches for Tillman, like left and right. Knew Baltimore was a pass funnel, knew Jameis was going to sling that shit. I mean, kudos to you for, pairing that on this team with just like the sick game stack with Chase and Smith. I like that a lot. So I just wanted to give a little +1 there, and just wanted to get an idea of when this was drafted. But yeah, I can't believe that Tillman was so drafted so late here. I wonder, it's gonna be fun to see where he goes this week.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Yeah, Cedric Tillman. I think this was a draft where I did Chase 101. So I got Tillman with the last.
This was Chase.
Yeah.
Chase fell here. If the API serves us correct, this was a Chase at 7.
Oh wow.
Which,
like, ironically, this.
Yeah, I didn't even look back.
And DFS King also had pick 7, but he went AJ Brown. But like, kind of interesting that lucky number 7 here gets it home. But yeah, I mean, you were on it anyways, and it's not like Chase was the guy you needed. So that obviously does not take anything away from this lineup. But yeah, interesting.
Very cool, man. I want to ask, with your total portfolio there, like when you said you're maxing the BR stuff, and now you're doing 35 of these, or you were doing 30 of these this week, but you're a diversification bro. What does that lead us to for like cumulative percentage? Because if you're just going out and getting your guys, and you thought Jalen Hurts was like QB1, that would make me think that like, you would end up with like 60% or something like that. But you temper your own expectations with the projections a little bit. Like how much Jalen Hurts, or how much was your highest exposed player this week?
Yeah, so my highest exposed player was Jalen Hurts. I had 42% of them.
Okay.
Wow.
But behind that, I don't think I had anyone over 25. I hammered Kareem Hunt and Evan Ingram. Those were like 2 of my must-haves this week, and neither one of them really panned out. But Jalen Hurts was obviously the right play.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good evergreen reminder that even when you're not there with some of your upper echelon ones, you can still get home when you're diversified a little bit. Because, if you came in here with the 60% Kareem Hunt or 60% Evan Ingram stuff, as well as the Hurts, we wouldn't be talking to you right now. So good stamp of approval for the diversification bros there. Anything else you guys want to hit on here? Anything else you want to share, talk about? Dan, like, where are you from right now? Like, is Dallas, have you been to Dallas before? Is it going to be a big trek out? What's your vibe?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in LA, and then I went to Syracuse, and then now I live in the Orlando area. So Dallas isn't too far. I've been before. I think I went last year, but it was only for a day or 2. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Like, I knew I was going to start putting in volume in the Dawg Bowl, like within the next few weeks, but yeah, didn't expect this kind of success this early. Like, I didn't even know like the full details and everything of the contest. I was just like firing away.
That's awesome, bro. Mad congratulations to you there. Look forward to hanging out in Dallas. It's gonna be a great time, man. These live events, Underdog is top notch at hosting them. It's gonna be a great time, irregardless of the drafts and results themselves. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to come down and get to experience it, dude. It really is like once you experience it, like you understand. I mean, like at least in my case, why you just want to keep firing and like want back in that spot. They do such a good job. Like I'm really excited for you, man. And I'm glad that that another friend of our show is heading down there. You deserve it, and yeah, best of luck, dude.
Yeah, thank you very much. Definitely looking forward to meeting y'all.
Yeah,
Love
same.
it, man. Appreciate you coming on, Dan. Congratulations again on the big win. See you soon, man. That's coming up. That's only a couple weeks away here. So yeah, we'll see you for week 14.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, have a good one.
Peace, Dan.
While that was happening there, Nez, we got to give a big shout out to our guy Car Park gifting out 5 membies to the community. Mad respect. Hit up Car Park if you happen to be a recipient of said memberships. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you,
Dude.
Car Park, man.
Car Park quickly becoming one of my favorite viewers on of the program.
I would say so. Yeah.
Car Park, we got to give a plug. Car Park, if you guys don't know, he has his own clothing company called Troll Company. Sent John and I like a ton of stuff, just like super cool stuff. So like shout out Car Park for that. I'm rocking right now. This like I've drank so much water out of this fucking thing, out of this water.
Oh, you got it already. Oh, sick, dude.
Bro, I've been chugging water from this. So I mean, just like an awesome guy. He just like hit us up and was like, "Hey, I want to support you guys. Like, I really want to send you some clothes."
Yeah,
just super cool, man. So I mean, shout out to the community again, just for like showing out and like supporting us. It really does mean a lot. I mean, we're getting extra senti on this show today, but like that warmed the shit out of my heart, man. That was so cool. So shout out Car Park as I take a big sip.
Yeah, likewise, bro. I'm gonna drop the website in the chat there. It's very cool. It's like a dirty. What's the slogan again? It's dirty hands, clean money.
How sick is that? That's so cool.
It's like a blue collar brand that now we could port over into the UD streets as hand builder bros. We got the dirty hands, but we get that clean money because we're not doing the opto bro shit. We're not running the S words out here. We are officially the dirty hands, clean money bros right here. But yeah, here I'll drop that one in there. It's trollclothing.ca. There, I haven't received my stuff yet. He said it was coming my way sometime this week, so really looking forward to that. And he also sent some for the missus too. He was like, what's your size and what's your wife's size? So I mean, I was expecting like a t-shirt and a hat or something, maybe like that when he reaches out. And I mean, I'm getting a whole new wardrobe. I'm stoked. It's like going shopping at Bass Pro, baby. I'm gonna be wearing it all the time.
They're saying that it's stolen valor for you, man. Are you truly a blue collar guy? The people are wondering if you can afford to wear this clothing.
People know that I got a tool basket, right, Nez? That's what it's called.
A basket.
A basket. That's a deep cut throwback. If anyone ever remembers that one, yeah, there we go. The dirty hands, clean money gang. That's us now. Love this, man. Yeah, influencer perks. Never thought we were influencers till this minute right now. But shout out again to Car Park gifting out 5 membies to the community. Say thank you. And it looks like Big Snacks joined up and became a member as well. So mad love there. Nez, let's walk through the weekend a little bit. I think it was a painful one for both of us. I think I can't share right now, but I will go on the mobile.
Well, you can look at my stuff if you want to look at how awesome I did. I mean, how many what do you want to see?
Let's click on DeBomb because I wanted to give a shout out to one of our guys. I wanted to give a shout out to one of our guys, Fully Loaded, both first and third in this one. Everyone knows Fully Loaded was hanging out in Vegas for the ship chasing tournament there. Great player on the site and even better dude. It looks like a Jalen Hurts skinny stack in both of those lineups, and then got to the HN, the mix-in, and, reminder that you could still get home in these small field contests when you have Evan Ingram and Tyreek Hill in there. So stamp of approval for playing the small field stuff.
Only a select few of us, John, were lucky enough to be second to last in DeBomb this week. So,
nice,
it takes a certain level of intelligence to put together 6 single-digit scores on the slate. So yeah, thank you. Hold your applause for that one. I would appreciate that. Wait until after we are done. But yeah, so here's the Wildcat, John. I made $100 in the Wildcat, people. Please,
there you go. Print
tips,
Fest.
Yeah. Tips can be given on the side here, but see, this is what I'm talking about, man. If I could just get a little bit more from Javante instead of this bullshit that I got from him this week, I could be maybe making $200 in the Wildcat, because I had a lot of Javante this week. I had a lot, but just wanted to give a quick shout out to my boy Javante Williams, who I was very much in on this week, since I'm behind the 1s and 2s this week.
I want to look at some of the exposure stuff. I tried something new this week. I was very conscientious in the small field stuff. So every single week I max the fullback dive, I max the bomb, and I max like some of those smaller, the fives and the single entries, like those ones that are higher dollar price point. So I tried something new this week, and I played the exact same lineup in every single one of them. And I just wanted to be that dude. Like, I thought I had the skeleton key this week, Nez, and I played the exact same lineup every single one of those contests, and it was pretty fucking close, but it lacked a little bit of that ceiling stuff. While we're here, Dooley's in 4th place there. Shout out to Dooley, who's having a great season right now.
Dude.
Took down some puck stuff over the weekend and gave us a shout out, and then had a 10K here. He was leading for a while here before Ladd and Cedric Tillman, I guess, went off. I think it was a Ladd team that ended up winning. No, full of it, eh? Didn't even need Ladd in the main BR to win. Wow.
Hold on. I'm confused. What is the difference here? Am I tripping? Jamar Chase, Devontae, Cade. Oh, Cade just like barely.
Cade Pitts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. See, like, it's crazy. This is nuts. How.
Oh, there's the Ladd team.
Yeah, Patrick Barnes YouTube, who's really getting back at us for laughing at his username, huh?
Yeah, just go watch his YouTube instead of ours. Holy fuck. This guy, look at this Prid Fest.
Viewers drop off.
Everybody's searching for Patrick right now. Nez, I wanted to hit on 2 things. I wanted your thoughts. The thought of me thinking that I could make the perfect lineup and play it in every single contest. Do you think that's good or bad? Or just a risk tolerance thing?
No, man. I think it can be. I mean, if it's a risk tolerance thing, I'm of the belief that on our site, if you can withstand the variance, doing an exploitative strategy is probably like one of the. I don't want to like attach like a too strong of an accolade to it, but if you can withstand the variance and play exploitative, like you can wreck things on here. So that's like kind of like a little bit of the boogeyman is like an absolute like giant coming in and just like being able to take all these hits and then like play so exploitative that when it's their turn, they win so much money.
I inevitably think that's going to be the nerdy tenor.
Potentially. Yeah. It's not there yet. So, no. We're safe. We're safe for now. But.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of like the path as you're alluding to. Here, I wanted to share the lineup. This is the one that I played in every single contest and lit, Is
it on the bomb?
$700 on fire. I mean, it's in there for sure. I got it on my phone here, though. It was Devin Achane, Jonathan Taylor, who were my 2 highest exposed players at 35%. Then it was Tyreek Hill, Tank Dell, Trey McDust, and CJ Stroud. That was the lineup. Not that one, but I ran a variation.
Yeah, I just found one.
Yeah, it's the one probably below that. Yeah. Anyways, I went damn near directionally accurate, I would say, with the thought process this week. But Tyreek not being able to beat out Chase. That being said, Chase was my second highest owned players or second highest owned wide receivers. So I don't know. I just got way too overconfident that CJ Stroud could match a score. And I only had 13% Jalen Hurts this week because of it. And I had CJ, then Hurts, then Jaden Daniels, which was that was kind of like my 3 quarterbacks there. Anything you want to evaluate from your play standpoint?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm wearing my L's on my sleeve, and maybe being like a little too stubborn. I feel like, it's not like I'm like hitting the same plays every single week and like I believe in this guy no matter the matchup and just playing this. Like I'm changing my plays, I'm analyzing, the matchups as I see fit. And I do think that like I'm able to live with how I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, man, results weren't there. Like I did not have enough Jalen Hurts for sure. A ton of Bo Nix here, and like,
wow, nice. Yep.
like Jordan Love gets hurt, but like wasn't really having a great game before then, so that doesn't matter. But Jalen Hurts number 5 on here, and like three touch pushes. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to see the game. Fuck. That's tough, man. When you have 10% Jalen Hurts, I mean, like it is what it is. But like as you can see, a lot of the top wide receivers there, which like I thought was smart. Because like
we were both all over that. We were early receiver this week, and then find the running backs that made more sense. You got on the Mixon side of that one. I got on the Tank Dell side of that one. I didn't play any Brees, any Bijan, any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so like when you look at the top, like these are just like this is the top end of my exposures. Like it feels.
It feels fine. Yeah, I click on the tight end.
Like I think I played pretty good, except like
feels fine. Yeah,
didn't have enough Jalen Hurts. Like obviously the 55% Javonte is insane, but like it was against the Panthers, and I still believe that people were not. I think the range of outcomes was pretty strong for Javonte to have a big game. I mean, he touched the ball 21 times against the Panthers. If I knew he was going to touch the ball 21 times against the Panthers, I probably would have had 75% and not 55%.
Sure, yeah. And I mean, Bo Nix runs one in, so there goes away one opportunity. And then Cortland Sutton fumbles one at the 1 yard line that could have led to another opportunity. So, yeah.
And then Tuna asks a good question. Am I going to do that with Kamara against the Panthers? To be honest, I haven't even begun my process yet this week because like I'm so busy right now with this house and shit.
Sure, yeah.
It'll depend on the cost. Like Javonte had a 32.7 ADP. Like I feel good about like I thinking that was a good play.
Right.
It didn't work out. We live to fight another day. So that's my spiel. It didn't work out, but like I don't think that was the crux of why I had a bad week.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the other thing that fully loading up in the chat here is that Derek Carr might be back this week as well. There was rumors that he'd be ready for week 9 kind of thing. So interesting. But yeah, this is kind of like the results you'd expect once you get like densely concentrated on one isolated play, is that you're, fighting to claw for even if it doesn't hit kind of deal there. So yeah, kind of all checks out. I think I lost like $2,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I played 1,000. I play about 1,000 in entry fees in Dawg Bowl every week, so like that never helps the ROI. But like that's what I want to. That's what I want to do.
But that's chasing the dream, baby.
It is, and it's a dream worth chasing because it's just it's good for us, and it's God, it's just fun. The Dawg Bowl is so goddamn fun, man. And once you're there, you're gonna be chasing that every year.
We got to hit on this third place thing again real quick in the Dawg Bowl there. So it's going to be a heads up showdown, like the cash game style lobbies. Are we team best to play the best plays in this? Is there some leverage to not correlating against your opponent? If it was me versus you for a Dawg Bowl seat this week, like how would you be playing that?
Man, well, I'd have to look at the slate first.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, but I'm just
unfortunately I haven't like done that yet.
No, neither have I. But like completely agnostic of like what's going on that. Would you be prioritizing, quarterback? Would you be prioritizing winning the onesies as like a tier break? Would you be like, I'm just thinking out loud here.
I think I would probably be going wide receivers first.
Okay, interesting.
I think so. I think getting those top end wide receivers just as far as like a cash game on Underdog goes, is like how I would play.
Yeah.
And then after that, I would just take the best available, and I would definitely go 2 RB for sure.
Okay.
And at that point, I think it would just be like, okay, who's the likeliest to score a touchdown at running back after that? But
I respect it. Yeah.
trying to find the volume at wide receiver first.
Mhm.
And then like QB and tight end just seems like no matter what, especially if you're looking at QB2 and tight end 2,
Right.
you're very likely to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the stark drop off at the onesies may not be there as comparable to the upper echelon ceiling of the wide receivers. Yeah, this might very well be a strategy right now. Take both of the Lions running backs no matter what. Yeah, this is the true boss move that I want Awin to pull once we get to the Dawg Bowl. Is just fucking throw your hands up in the air and auto draft that shit. If you really want to dunk on the community, if you want to flex that you are the full-fledged auto draft bro, that is the one.
I was gonna pull up Viper's comments.
Yeah, what do we got?
Quick. So he's saying, is there a way I can draft my own area? I'm very sensitive to other people's energy. I know you're an empath, BBV. I can feel it all the way in Dallas. I was like damn near full poker, bro. I had headphones on during my my Dawg Bowl draft and was just in my own zone. Because I agree, Viper. I didn't want to like really. I wanted to concentrate. So you can just wear wear headphones. It's all good.
Yeah, you were a little bit of a dork.
What, because I brought up the thumbsies? You're mad I brought up the thumbsies?
Oh yeah, the thumbsies.
In the
that
ring?
was so funny. The thumbsies are actually so funny. But like, I remember Pete and I talking when you were doing it, and before we did the Off and On the Clock show on Friday night, that was like, man, let's not say too much. Like, I really don't want to fuck with his head. Like, I don't want us to influence you. Like, we were really trying to like walk on eggshells a little bit to make sure you did your own thing, kind of thing.
And then you proceeded to tell me like 5 times to draft Desmond Ridder doubles, and then at the event,
and what happened?
As I'm losing, you should have drafted the Desmond Ridder doubles. I'm like, John, I'm sweating $200,000, bud. Like, thanks. Don't need that right now. Thank you, dude.
Sometimes I forget that like I'm fucking immune and not everybody feels the way that I do. You know what I mean? Like,
let's get you a seat and see how immune you are after that. Let's put you in the arena and see how immune you are.
I think I'd be the exact same. I'm the exact same all the time. You know,
we'll find out. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, hopefully we can find ourselves to a seat. I was scared of the lad Q tag after all the DNPs. I know Pete put him in the video. I wish I'd gotten to it. He was projecting so well in the ETR stuff. Yeah, but I'm a big.
You think he wasn't going to play?
Right. No yeah. Like we were at like that point where it was like, yeah, he might not even play. Yeah, you're the devil. How rich? I'm with you. This is the 3 duality of man moments there. I'm just like a completely like hands off, like nothing matters. Like it's a completely out of your control now once the decision is made. It's not true. All right, Nezzy, let's talk a little NBA slate. There is no primetime Palooza tonight, but I am not immune to trying to do a pick'em here. Sure. The reason I'm not on the 1s and 2s, for whatever reason, I'm getting location serviced and something to death with the Underdog stuff, and I can use it on my phone, but I can't use it on desktop here. But I think we should do an NFL pick'em for tonight if there's anything that we like. I think we should do some hoop stuff, and then we should just rip hoops draft and maybe a model draft and call it like an hour and a half kind of show today.
Yeah. Where do you want to start, pick'ems or NBA?
Let's start pick'ems with the football stuff and just talk through it a little bit. I will bring up a little bit of stuff on the side here. Your beloved Steelers in action tonight. Are they doing Justin Fields the Russell Wilson treatment right now with this fake Q tag injury to like don't hurt his feelings kind of move? Is that how you read it, or is there actually something up there?
I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. I feel like it's legit.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure it's legit. I mean, there's no feelings, no hard feelings at this point. Anyways, you've already been benched straight up. So if that was the case, maybe it would have been last week. This week, I think he's actually a little banged up. Maybe he's trying too hard to do the Daniel Jones practice team role in practice, doing a little bit of scrambling, making some bad passes.
Gotcha.
This matchup
Showing
is,
off a little bit to get his
yeah.
job back kind of move.
That type of deal.
Yeah.
This matchup, man, I hate.
Okay.
Just from like a fan standpoint, right? Like not from, I mean, obviously fantasy wise, this is probably going to be one of the most ugly viewing experiences that we've had in Monday Night Football in a while. Just two real ass football teams going at it, but two really strong defenses going at it here. The Giants, I just think, are one of the more underrated defenses in football. And Steelers, nice game against the Jets last week, but I think the Jets are clearly so fucking fraudulent. Like we talked about it the last 2 weeks and talked about it leading up to this week, where I'm like, I think May might be good against the Jets. Like I just think without, Saleh, their defense is just like really like taking a hit. Okay. And they're clearly out of sorts. That said, up against the Giants here, Dayball's the coach. I respect Dayball. This should be a pretty low scoring game. Obviously, like the total is not very high here. I would love the Steelers to whoop some ass. And the only reason that I think that they might, of course, is like primetime Steelers at home, just unbelievably. Like I don't have stats.
Renegade hits harder. Renegade hits harder on that.
Buddy. Renegade on primetime. You don't want to be a quarterback when Renegade hits on primetime. So that's the only thing going in their favor. Like I'll have to look up some actual numbers, but like primetime Steelers at home under Tomlin, they just don't lose. They don't. So that's on their side. Good luck.
Kobe Short's asking in the chat, why no primetime Palooza tonight? I think it was just a decision by the draft team, just some of the feedback, how they've been going, how they've been overlaying, to be honest, with NBA back. I think NBA has become more of a priority for a lot of drafters on the site. And I think I'm just saying this. This isn't from the horse's mouth. This is just my interpretation. I think they're pretty fucking sick of the fact that it's like, woe is me crying every slate that, oh, how did so-and-so get CeeDee Lamb and whatever together, and they're just kind of forecasting like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of weird ass Q tags with the Jets and the Texans coming up here, especially with the Stephon Diggs one. So the Thursday night game doesn't pair too well with this one. And then they just gave us, 5 NBA contests to draft instead at a higher price point. That's my interpretation.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Again, like we've not received like any official word as to why there is not one, but you don't hear us complaining. Right? Like the PTPs were nice when we didn't have hoops and there was like, we needed those additional like sweats during the week. It just like makes sense, especially for this matchup, like you said.
Yeah. I'm kind of in lockstep with Crutches here that I've never been a big fan of the Monday, Thursday, just because
that's definitely the least favorite, right?
Yeah. It's like, it's 1 week to the other, plus it locks up funds for that. I'm still a big proponent of like when we have the London games or we have the Sunday night games that you can do those ones together. But yeah, I think there is some merit to you're drafting a game that's going to take place tonight. And then you're drafting a game that we literally have no idea who's going to play on Thursday. And we kind of saw it last week or the week before. Last week, I think it was, with the Steelers one, where it's like we didn't even know who the quarterback was going to be. And we were talking through, the slate, right? So, yeah.
I did find a stat.
Oh,
this is now granted, John.
Yeah.
I mean, this is from last year, but I think they won it on primetime at home already this year, which is like so funny. I wish, like, I hope the NFL keeps giving them home primetime games. Since 2007, the Steelers are 27-8 in home primetime games.
That's funny. I mean, that's like peak, like tout better on Instagram stat of the day. Like that's what that is. Yeah, it's pretty. That's exactly what that stat is. But I mean, I'm looking at. I don't think it's going to obviously be a pace up spot for anybody. I think the Steelers D line matches up so well against the Giants O line. I think losing Thomas last week is like a big crucial point to like crux to this Giants offensive line. So I mean, if you just look at the ETR stuff, the Brandon Thorne stuff, it's number 4 D line versus 24 O line. And then you got an injury on that O-line as well. So, yeah,
Oh, you also you're also forgetting. Not only are they primetime and they're primetime crushers, they're wearing the all black color rush jerseys. Get the come on,
dude!
Are you kidding me? You're gonna fade the all black color rush Steelers?
Danny
You might need a
Dimes.
new. You might need a new hobby. You might need a new hobby. You got no mojo. You got no mojo if you're fading the all black Steelers. I apologize.
Danny Dimes is going to be walking into the arena there. He's going to be coming into the stadium. He's going to have his J. Crew polo on with one button, no buttons done up, all the way buttoned up to the top. He's going to have his backpack up to his ears on the thing, and he's going to be walking into absolute nightmare fuel, all black, like Bane in Dark Knight Rises, field splitting in half, Heinz Ward coming for his throat. Like this is not the environment that I'm betting on Danny Dimes here.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson's got the eye black on in the profile pic on Underdog. You don't think this guy's fucking ready? You don't think this guy's ready? He was built ready, Mr. Unlimited.
Oh my God. So now where do we go from here?
I mean, I want to look at the Jaylen Warren stuff if it's still there.
I agree because
I thought no CPAT. No CPAT. I thought the Warren numbers were low. The rushing attempt stuff was at 5.5. Then it was at 6.5. I don't know what it's at now. If we could still get it at 6.5, I would like it. But yeah, I mean,
points.
I'm good with anything Jaylen Warren related tonight. I think there's multiple paths to him getting there. Fantasy points seems the cleanest now that the rushing attempt stuff has gone up to 7.5.
Fully agree. No CPAT, I think, really helps his range of outcomes. 14 touches against the Jets. I think he was just hampered by injuries to start the season, and plus a little bit of Arthur Smith bullshit. But we're seeing it now. Jaylen Warren starting to get more touches and looking like Jaylen Warren again. I like the start here.
This kind of feels like the game before the game. You know what I mean by that?
For Jaylen?
Yeah, for Jaylen. Like, I think Najee's played very well. I think Najee's a very good football player, despite what people say about him. I just think that this Jaylen Warren spot just like feels like everything's too low. The pendulum has like shifted too far to Najee. And even though he's playing well, there's a non-zero chance that we see multiple opportunities tonight for both of them. You know,
Definitely.
18 and 8 wouldn't surprise me. 22 and 9 from each of them would not surprise me this evening if they are in fact in control of this game the way in which we think they could be. And then I think the advent of like Russell Wilson at quarterback with Jaylen Warren as like a dump off valve is so much stronger than what we were dealing with Fields beforehand.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with all that.
Okay, cool. I think the next one that people are talking about in the chat here, and I think they'll want like just kind of like some macro take on, is like, has Tracy taken over Singletary in some respects? I mean, he out-touched him 9-6 last week there. He out-snapped him ever so slightly, if memory serves. Oh, no, it was more than that. It was 67-21% last week. Has Tracy done enough to kind of like take over that backfield in a way in which is meaningful this evening?
Well, let's just compare fantasy points here. 6.65 and 6.55 for Singletary. So they, very, very, very slightly by 1 yard agree with the chat that Tyrone Tracy has usurped Singletary. I would agree. I think Tracy has more juice, seems to be the better player right now for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
In a trailing script, is Tracy the move over Singletary if we do agree that it will likely be a trailing script for the Giants?
Yeah, I think so. I think that checks out to
agree.
Me. Yeah.
I would agree. They've got him for 11.5 receiving yards and 1.5 receptions. For Singletary, 1.5 receptions and and 7.5 receiving yards. So, it seems like the Pick'em lobby would agree that Tracy is the trailing script move.
Okay. All right. Let's do I think those two pair well together. Do they not?
I think so.
Okay. Man, so I cleared all my stuff so that I could get to try and fix this Underdog problem now.
Yeah.
And now I'm logged out of every single website in the history of planet Earth right now.
Yeah, buddy, you're
Oh
done.
my God. You're like, I'm trying to just like bounce around and find stats and find like some stuff that I like. And I'm logged out of everything. I'm logged out of Fantasy Life. I'm logged out of ETR. I'm logged out of, stochastic projections. I'm logged out of everything, man.
You're locked out. Somebody help John.
Holy smoke. This is a good comp here from Dooley Data that it's like the Chase Brown, Zach Moss situation a little bit.
Yeah, very similar.
I like that. GA giving us some meta evergreen reminder that the last time GA dropped a pick'em in the chat, I think he's 3 for 3 in his last droppings of pick'ems in the chat that are puck related. So if anybody wants to mix in a Logan Cooley higher on the points there, I will vouch for GA on that one, aping into that Utah game tonight. And that's what else you like. This is kind of your Steelers. This is your do you have can we kicker whisper it up? I think kicker whisper kind of pairs well with this for like a 3 core. What do you like?
Yeah, I think if we were to play any kicker picks, it would be Boswell field goals higher.
Okay.
He's been money, so you don't have to worry about him missing. It's just a matter of, are they going to be scoring touchdowns or not?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be in pretty positive field position if the Giants are not going to be able to move the ball on them, and I don't think they will. Mm-hmm. And I think the Giants defense is also a little bend don't break. So I think that's Boswell's music.
All right. I kind of like this as like the base core. What does that get us to? Like 5.9x or something?
I think 5.8 or 5.4. A little bit of a dock on there for probably the
fantasy
points
for whatever related. Yeah. All right, let's use that as a core, and then let's add 2 more to it and run it twice, and then you could drop it in the chats for us so I can make sure that I get in here. Or actually, you know what? I'll do it on my phone.
On your mobile device?
On my mobile device.
All right, there we go.
The new iPhone 16. It's no different than the iPhone whatever I had before.
Doesn't it have the little like scrolly thing on the side or something?
Oh, yeah, this stupid like camera thingy. I don't even know how to use it, man.
Does it suck?
I don't know. I've not even tried it yet.
You've never taken a picture with it yet?
No, I haven't tried it. I'm not a big I basically use my phone to draft, and that's it. Like I don't really use
I would love to upgrade my drafting device.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's detrimental though, because then you spend more time on it, because I used to have the smaller screen one, like the 13 with like the smaller screen, because I didn't care. I just wanted it to fit in my pocket a little bit better. I went back in time. I got a new phone and I went smaller.
No one can decide. I mean, I'm glad you found something that fits your normal size hands, better. I'm happy for you.
These little what are they called? Who is the guy? These little Kenny Pickett's. These little Kenny Pickett's here.
All right, let's run. I ran back the core. Are we adding more picks as far as this game goes to it?
I would like to, I think, but I'm indifferent. If we want to do the Logan Cooley one on there, I'm down to like do a community one. I'm seeing some good stuff in the community just in general. Hey, Jack, thanks for joining up. Saw him in a couple drafts with us last week there. Arrivals, Wandell over Theo Johnson. Or that one feels like not crazy at all.
Wandell, let me look here. Who is it with?
If he's got a Rivals one. Oh, and Theo. Never mind. It's not a Rivals one. Pickens 75 yards from the chat. Najee lower than 16.5. I'll be the first to remind everybody that last year Najee Harris led the world in runs over 20 yards last year to start the season. People forget. Yeah, it was like the first 8 weeks or whatever. It was such a fucking Zach Moss stat. Like how I kept going back to the Zach Moss being like, yeah, man, yards per carry leader through the first 8 weeks. Like, yeah, his O-line was really fucking good in positive game scripts, John.
I think we do something with Malik Neighbors.
Okay. Talk to me.
11 targets is a ton. I don't feel great about doing 11 targets, but I think you can maybe do receiving yards or fantasy points, or even like take the rivals against George Pickens against him. I think this George Pickens number is a lot of like recency bias based on a 1-game sample that we saw with Russ. Like, I just don't see George Pickens like if they're giving George Pickens 7 over Neighbors, and given everything we know about Neighbors as a player, I do kind of like maybe not the rivals now that I kind of it's more fun just I think in this spot just do something Neighbors straight up here. We got a few different options.
Okay, I'm adding my discount to this one for sure.
Okay,
because guys, be mindful. Always click the little present there to make sure. I just found out I have a discount up to 100 that I get to pick a pick to take off there. But no, I like the thesis with the Neighbor stuff. You were selling me on the rivals until you walked it back a little bit. You're not scared of the JPJ treatment at all?
A little bit. I do like JPJ, but also it's like Malik Neighbors, and I don't want to like wear the laundry too hard.
Yeah. I like the Neighbors. I like the Neighbors adjusted one. I like the Neighbors adjusted, maybe not adjusted fantasy points there, but yeah, scroll down a little bit there. Easy saying JPJ tackle ones. That's an interesting shout. That would correlate nicely with Malik Neighbors lowers too. That you might not get docked on, but dude, you were selling me on that rivals versus Pickens, dude.
Okay,
you were
let's
selling
do it.
me.
I was
drinking the Kool-Aid.
All right, let's do it.
Let's appease Easy and look at the JPJ just because we know he's sharp there. Or I'm down to just go complete rogue and add in no tackle stuff here. Oh, tackles and assists at the bottom there.
Yeah, 3.5. It's a pretty heavy dock. Let's peruse for a minute here.
Okay. You know what I think we do? We add Logan Cooley to this because that's the smash. That's the L word of the day, according to GA. This is a community L word. And we get a little boost. Yeah. 0.5 points, Logan Cooley, PP1 tonight, maybe PP2. Let's make
19.26.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that for the community. Then I want you to delete everything and erase your mind, Nez. Erase your mind of everything we've ever talked about. And I just want the Nez laundry bro, fuck it, from the heart, from the gut. I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, or 80 of them put together. We just need the Nez laundry bro. This is no science, no data, no nothing. Right. This is just like what Nez would do in his underwear at 4 a.m.
All right. We're starting with Danny Dimes picks. One interception for Danny Dimes. This is what we want to start with.
Nick from the heart. Justin Fields, higher 2.5 rushing TDs.
After this, and guys, if you're playing at home, you can feel free to spice up the TJ Watt stuff. I would prefer this to be spiced, but while we're on desktop, soon to come, we could
soon
spice.
To come, yeah. We actually did hear that today that I want to reiterate to everyone. Soon to come that you could spice on desktop. Okay.
Joey Porter. Wow. I was thinking JPJ. TJ Watt. Sacks.
Yep.
Lock it into pick'em.
Lock it into the pick'em entry.
Correct. After that, John, can you hear the Heinz Field crowd yelling, "Move," as he scores a touchdown, breaks the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown Stillers.
Picture
it. Just picture it in your mind's eye. After this, we got 3 in here. Let's do, what are we at here?
That's 11.56.
How much more do you need from me?
I just said go with your heart, man. It doesn't have to be 3, 4, 5. It doesn't have to be whatever. It's just what you would do feeling confident associated with the laundry.
I'm feeling pretty goddamn confident in this.
Mm.
After that, let's do let me check out Singletary real quick.
Okay.
I want to do a lower on whoever has. So let's do a lower Singletary rushing as well. You're not rushing on the fucking steel curtain, buddy.
What's the number for him there?
It's 29.5. Obviously, it's not high, but John, you asked for the laundry bro pick'em, and this is the laundry bro pick'em of all pick'ems here. Danny Dimes getting an interception. TJ Watt recording a sack. Pat Fryermuth recording a touchdown. Devin Singletary, you're not running for shit, buddy. Lock it into the pick'em and submit it.
Lock it into the entry. I am looking at some of the discount ones that are available tonight. To add to this one, Nez, they're giving us Daniel Jones discount on rushing and passing, Russell Wilson discount on rushing and passing, a Malik Neighbors discount on some receiving yard stuff. Same with Pickens, Wan'Dale Robinson, and then a bunch of hoops ones. So just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. If you do want to add a fifth to it there are some heavily discounted ones. I think I'm going to add the Malik Neighbors discounted one. Gets this thing to 38x.
Yeah, I like it. I think mine are all on mobile as far as my my discounts go, or I used it already. I can't. No, I have my discounts are on mobile. So yeah, if you're playing along at home, feel free to tack one. Definitely use it before it expires.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. Let's talk through the hoops slate. It's a large one. We don't necessarily have to go game by game. I'll bring up the NBA injury report here in half a second, and then you could kind of do the platform stuff because I can still share. I just can't share the platform for whatever reason. I think the biggest things to talk about from a Q-Tag lens here, Nez, Ja Morant, who's had a bit of a minutes limit through. You all right, dude? Your eyes been bothering you today.
Like, I know. I apologize. I know it's like not good viewing for TV. I keep like I got something. I apologize. I'm trying to solve it. I know it's been happening.
Dog.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna live with it. But yeah, there's like it's like in my line of sight, like my brain keeps telling me to fucking fix it, and unfortunately I can't fix it. So I am sorry for constantly wiping my eye. The show.
Okay, I'm gonna rapid fire some of the Q tags that I think kind of makes sense to care about tonight. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
James Wiseman got some run for the Pacers initially, so that might mean a little extra Turner stuff. Because he's already been marked out. Jonathan Isaac, questionable. Franz Wagner, questionable. Paulo, slowly becoming one of my favorite clicks in the second round there, especially if Franz misses. It is a back-to-back question mark? They played Saturday. I'm mixing up my slates now. Maybe they played Saturday, and Franz had like a really nice game. Paulo had a really good game first time out. And then Franz is an illness, so truly don't have a stance on that.
And that was a later cue too.
Yeah, exactly. Orlando renowned for getting information out early, but just to be mindful of. Shout out to the Emo Cowboy who just gifted out a Badge Bros membership as well. That is 7 new members on the stream this morning. Thank you so much. Or this afternoon.
That's so awesome, man. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it in a big way there. Max Strus still out for the Cavs, so just how that rotation works a little bit. I mean, it just means it doesn't really affect the main starters, maybe a little bit extra handling stuff, but just be mindful of. Miles McBride with a probable tag, Josh Hart with a Q tag, which I just think is interesting for some of the Knicks side on that. Cleveland looking like a little bit more of a pace up spot than we would have originally thought. So if we do get no Josh Hart, maybe Bridges comes into play late. Maybe you can boost up some Brunson and some Cat stuff relative to their current ADPs. Just something to be mindful of. And then obviously they're still missing Mitchell Robinson at the center position and Precious Achiuwa. RJ Barrett might be back for the Raptors tonight. Emmanuel Quickley is still out. Kelly Olynyk is still out. So both, and Bruce Brown still out. So Pirtle in our player pools today, and Scotty Barnes kind of usage will be hinging upon what we get with RJ Barrett, but I don't think it's, like make or break. Nothing really with the Nuggets that matters a great deal. Nothing really with the Heat or Pistons that matter a great deal. Asir Thompson's still out there. And Cade looks fine. Let's just say this is the lowest scoring game on the slate in Detroit versus Miami. But Cade low-key looks fine at ADP. Tobias Harris has been bad to start the year thus far. No one's taking Duren. You could do stupider things in the last round. Celtics, Hauser still has that Q tag. He missed last time out. Zinger is out. So just how that will affect, some Horford rotation. They're heavy favorites, man. I was shocked to see that the Celtics are 9.5 favorites at home, dude. Crazy.
They're
against
stupid
Giannis.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
They're stupid good. I mean, they're unbelievable.
Giannis has the dreaded Giannis probable tag on a back-to-back. Just be mindful that a Giannis P tag is not created equally, but I don't think there's any reason to think he won't go tonight, especially versus the Celtics. Big game for TV purposes. And then Middleton is still out there. Wizards still no Sadiq Bey and Malcolm Brogdon. And then the Hawks. The Hawks probably have the most interesting. They're on a back-to-back. And they missed Hunter yesterday, but he's got the Q tag today. And Bogdan Bogdanovic has already been ruled out. Okay, so that's good. That's good to know because, and Oneka Kongwu is ruled out. So those two kind of impacting some Clint Capella minutes. Some Jalen Johnson will be popping a little bit more just in terms of usage with or without Hunter. And then Dyson Daniels, he's a stock god. So just interesting stuff there. Lonzo will play tonight for the Bulls. Jaw Q tag, as we alluded to earlier. JJJ is back, but slight minutes restriction. They're missing a lot of bodies, though. Gigi Jackson, Luke Kennard, Vince Williams. So, I don't know. Do with that what you will. I'm kind of like Jaw's sitting out tonight. It's like I don't know. He's been limited. Plus, I think they want to protect him. Plus, I just think I don't know, man. Jaw is the most difficult part about this slate. I take him in the 6th round, but I also take Bane sometimes in the 6th round because he'll end up pushing up and popping. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Jaw, Nez?
My thoughts are that if Jaw will get full minutes before the coach tells us, you're gonna want to be on Jaw for that game when it finally happens. As you like to say, the game before the game.
Yeah.
Could it possibly be Q tag to full minutes? Mm-hmm. I'm not counting on it, but I am taking some Jaw in the 6th. Shout out Winky. I wouldn't know a lot of the nuance of these things if it wasn't for Winky. Just me personally, how I consume my NBA news is a lot of the time through our boy Winky Christ and his threads, and his little coach speak quotes that he pulls. They are purposefully, as you mentioned, the minutes restriction on Jaw. They made it a point from the onset that through this beginning stretch of games, because they have a lot of games in a short amount of time, that they are going to be careful with Jaw's minutes. So the gal brain, is this the game Jaw breaks 30? I wouldn't count on it, but he's an efficient player. And against this Chicago team, I don't think it's improbable that he can't have an efficient night on less than 30. But just more for future reference, be ready to hammer, because ADP is not going to be efficient on Jaw when we think that full allotment of minutes is coming. And it will happen at some point.
Yes, really well put there, Nez. Really well articulated. I just want to get people a little bit ahead of some stuff. Okay, sorry. Let me finish the last couple here. Portland is on a back-to-back, and they have yet to submit. Grant has been absolutely cooking. Ayton doesn't look like as big of a part of the offense as we thought originally, which is kind of unfortunate. I've been playing him in the 6th round, a good deal there. Bradley Beal, Q tag for the Suns, there could affect the handling role of both Durant and Booker. They played on Saturday most recently. And then Lakers, they filed early by traditional Lakers stance, and we have no Q tags on AD or Braun, which is good of note there. And then front end back-to-backs of nationally televised games. I just want to make people aware. Mavericks and T-Wolves play tomorrow. So Mavs are on front end back-to-back. Nuggets are on front end back-to-back, but it's Brooklyn at Brooklyn tomorrow. So just the reason I bring it up is like potentially forecasting some lighter minutes down the stretches of non-competitive games because they'll be front end back-to-back. So just sharing that. Kings are front end back-to-back as well. And then tomorrow, before tomorrow's slate, before we get on air, people will be drafting it tomorrow. It's like basically a 0% chance, I think, that Steph Curry will play. That he sprained the ankle twice last night. I was watching that. Didn't look great. So just be mindful. But front end back-to-back teams are going to be Dallas and the Kings and the Nuggets, which is imperative for our slate here tonight. Okay.
Yeah,
that was kind of like
injury will turn the Warriors rotation from 50-man rotation to a 49-man rotation. So be on the lookout for that.
Dude, it's actually fucked. Like they ran like 12 deep the first night, and then Kerr comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I really like running like really deep." And I was like, "Oh my god, please no, come on." There was also a really good compilation. I'm not sure if I retweeted it yesterday or not, but there was a compilation of Steph behind the back passes to nobody this season. And I think there's been 2 or 3. And then he throws his arms up in the air like somebody's supposed to be spotted up in the corner. And then someone put the compilation together with like, you know, like Sarah McLachlan, like I Will Remember You kind of style music of every time he went behind the back to Clay for those spot out threes. It was so funny, man. It was such a good bit.
Oh man, that's sad.
That was good. What did I say this time, Easy?
I actually don't know.
I don't know what I said this time. I always mess things up and people get on me. All right, Nez, let's go to the platform there. Let's go to the ADP. Talk me through some of the stances you've had. I mean, this is one of the most loaded, talent-laden slates I think I may have ever seen on our site without dealing with Q tags, without whatever. Like we can get Tyrese Halliburton, who was routinely a pick 4 through 7 or 8 guy last year in like the 6th round today. We can get, it's a very, very interesting slate. Also never Hallie, but just it's very interesting. Like we're not dissecting between like Bridges, Suggs, and whoever in the 6th round today. It's like we got some bona fide superstars still in the 6th round today. So it makes for a very interesting slate.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, this is around the range, like the 6th round range. I mean, Kuzma, Jared Allen, Levine, Grant, Siakam down here, Van Fleet, everybody's favorite. It's a loaded slate. And I think now the projections have come out. People are ready to make their decisions based on fractions of fantasy points here. But doing my rankings last night, I got to like player 15. And I was like, man, I can't really decide here. And I really want to put Kuzma at player 17. And so I'm like, well, what do I do? Because he's a 6th round pick. Well, you know, in the for sake of transparency purposes, John, I've done let's see here, 10 full court presses, a crossover, 20 Monday night hoops, 10 layup lines, and 20 buzzer beaters. That is 61 drafts. I say that because how many shares of Kyle Kuzma do you think I have out of 61 drafts?
If you were that aggressive on him, I would venture to guess you have 40 out of 60 shares.
I mean, I'm gonna cool off. I'm going to cool off. I have 58 Kuzma shares today.
Oh my God, Kuzma night! Holy. Some of the projection models will agree with you. Some of the people like the spot tonight as well. It's just for me, I don't want to get like that dense on a slate that's so talent laden where we're separating fractions of points. I will suggest that I've done 40 of the Monday night hoops primarily last night, and Kyle Kuzma, I have 25%. So I was really liking him in the 6th round as well. But yeah, I mean, the Wiz are a very tough team to pick through. They got their doors blown off in the first night against the Celtics there. Kuzma had like a bad night. His stat line is going to reflect that. I wanted Balio Coulibaly to be more of a handler and more of a get your shot guy. That night, he wasn't. He was way more passive, didn't get the blowout run. Then he comes out the next night and drops like 20 fantasy points, like just absolutely, or 20 real life basketball points. And I'm like, okay, that's really going to harper and impact the way in which Kuzma and Poole can just jack shots up. So I'm not sure which to believe right now. I'm not really sure how those rotations are going to go. I think Bub not being there, I mean, he's got a Q tag or did have a Q tag. That might impact a little bit of the handling stuff for Kuz, which would be, you know, a net positive if they end up without him. It looks like the Q tag's removed, so he should be good. But yeah, just yeah, I see it. I get it against Atlanta, especially when Atlanta's missing a bunch of pieces. This could be a really fun pace up ball game here.
There we call it. It's probably too fast to call it what you want to call it, right?
I think the total is too high to call it what I want to call it, but it is definitely going to be sloppy and ugly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
I thought you were gonna say it. I thought you were.
It's definitely gonna be. It's definitely gonna be. But yeah, no, man, I can't fault you to that. I'll just be a little more balanced in terms of like I'll have some 6th round Poole. And I will have Jalen Johnson ahead of Kuzma, I think would be my big stance. And that'll lead me to more Jalen Johnson than Kuzma. But he has cooked me on multiple slates now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this slate is just extremely, extremely deep. And, you know, I think ADP more so than most slates is like completely artificial on a slate like this. I mean, player 37, I think you could take at any point in drafts here.
Yeah.
And, you know, just
Agreed.
as a player that's not being drafted. So I think that this is, you know, we don't really talk about scroll the F down as much in NBA because it's such a projectable sport, but like, man, if you're just drafting the chalk players on an 11 game slate over and over again in NBA, it would not be my recommendation.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there in a big way, Nez. There are going to be guys that are separating between, depending what resource you're looking at and what site you're looking at. Like we're talking like 1 to 3 fantasy points, and those can be altered so greatly by just adding 2 to 3 minutes to a player, right? Like, so I'm looking for high ceiling, high rates guys late that can break the slate. I think you've isolated potentially one of them in Kuzma. I guess we could talk through some of the other ones at the bottom there of the scroll the F down variety. Copper Prices is on one that is going to be stone cold chalk on Redacted tonight. That's DeMar DeRozan. He is full-fledged chalk on Redacted. I think you can talk through like the Bane stuff. If we get like, you know, JJJ still on a minutes restriction and we get no Ja, you know, Bane is going to push up in a big way there. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for like some of the spots at the back end that'll end up pushing up and or down as news funnels in throughout the day. Yeah, who do you like kind of like else in the back end?
Let's see here. Jalen Johnson for me is like a huge target. He's let me down a lot thus far. But no Capella there against the Wiz. This is like a blow up spot. So I really am trying to put the results behind me and just go with a guy that I love with, you know, without a Okonkwo there. Did I say Capella at first?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. But it's all good. You caught yourself.
Yeah. So really like really like Jalen Johnson there. And I think Jordan Poole, too, is like one of my favorite scroll the F down picks today. I think he's going to be maybe, 5% owned in the entire player pool?
I've seen him go a little bit, so I think it'd be a little higher than 5, but I would venture to guess like 15.
You think 15?
Yeah.
On a
I mean,
slate like this, I haven't looked at the projections yet, but I would be shocked if Jordan Poole was 15% drafted.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
That's almost 100% drafted.
Oh, no, I'm saying relative to the entire field. Like I'm not saying like 16.66 is the cap. I'm saying out of 100.
Yeah, because like, I mean, to find Jordan Poole, I mean, like he's not even like you have to scroll far to find Jordan Poole. I mean,
the hashtag models are going to like him. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at 35.4 ADP. So, behind White. I mean, yeah, maybe he will be, but I agree with the models. I agree with the models. I really like Jordan Poole tonight. Yeah. I think Siakam too, like Nick said. I mean, Siakam's buried in ADP, and Siakam, I think, is probably like the engine of this Indiana team. It's certainly not Hallie right now. So I like Siakam as a really fun scroll the F down.
Yeah, I think one thing that's getting lost in some of the Hallie stuff is Benny Math being back. And like Math is just like a good scorer, man. Like this team might fucking I just hate Hallie. I can't have a conversation that is non-biased when it comes to Hallie. But Hallie's gonna have those games. And if Hallie has those games, it's probably gonna be in a spot like tonight where he is like super deep in ADP. Like the times in which I'm fine playing Hallie is like a night like tonight, opposed to a night where he's like ADP 8 or whatever. Yeah. Models like Poole and Fred VanVleet. I think models
I had no idea the models like Fred VanVleet. That's crazy. You're telling me for the first time.
Yeah. The models love Fred VanVleet. I don't think they've caught up to the fact that the Rockets are like way deeper this year and running like a deeper rotation. Like I think Reed Shepherd should be getting burned, man. Like I think he's good, and he just gets no burn right now. So yeah, it's interesting. But Sengun just got cooked by Wemby last time out. Not in terms of like box score necessarily for Wemby, but Wemby was just a huge thorn in his side defensively. So to answer Pade's question, he's kind of one of my soft fades in that ADP area. Like just being a ball knower and watching a little bit of that, like Wemby did work on him.
Let's talk about this for a minute because the models, man, do not. I did look at that because I was like, I disagreed with the Sengun ADP. I saw it was 18, and I was like, I don't want to touch it. And then you look at ETR, and they're like Sengun top 10 tonight. And here's what I think, John. You want to know what I think? I think Vegas, if we can speak from like lines and odds from that perspective, right? Because that has something to do with how we approach this. I think they're telling us that the Spurs are not the defensively inept team that they were in the past.
Right.
What do you think about that? Would you agree that they think that they're an improved team defensively?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like yes, 100%.
So
Novacell out there, CP3, a dog when he wants to be sometimes, like with some on-ball defense. And then Wemby playing the 5. Like they were so much better defensively last year at the tail end of last year with Wemby at the 5 than they were early season with him at the 4. So yeah, I think things are catching up.
And there's some bad blood between the Spurs and Rockets, man. They do not like one another.
Did you see CP3 smoke Dylan Brooks on the head last game?
I heard him. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eggers, I do know that like Sengun did go off in two separate occasions last year, but like they don't like each other because I think Wemby was like really excited that the Rockets did not get the number 1 pick in the lottery, and he was like thrilled by that. So there's been some bad blood there. So just watch out for that one. I just think that that's a really interesting dichotomy because Sengun's PRA, points, rebounds, and assists in the pick'em lobby, opened at 28.5.
Yeah,
and it's now up to 30. And like that when it was at 28.5 and his ADP was what it was, it just did not make sense because he'll get stocks, but he's not a stock god.
I want to ask Eggers, last year, at what point in time did these matchups take place? I'm very interesting. Because I'd be very interested to know if this was later in the year where it was like mono at the 5, or if it was like rotational, playing some zone shit where you had 2 bigs on the floor, blah blah blah.
No, it was I remember one of those games. It was like he definitely got the best of Wemby.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, Nick alluding to the fact that the ceiling is just crazy high with a guy like that, and especially on our platform with like the stock upside, and he contributes in all the categories is basically the crux of it.
If I know for a fact people are going to be jamming Şengün because the projection tells them to, then I just simply won't be there with them.
Okay.
I like if they're doing it solely because the projections tell them to,
right?
Then I'll take my chances.
Okay, cool. The last big like spot I'd talk about in ADP before we hop in a draft here, Nez, would just be asking you like that. I think there's like a clear kind of like top 5 tonight in the Joker, Wemby, Luka, Giannis, and AD. It's a really interesting night to just make the concerted decision that you could get exploitative over any one of those players outside of Luka tonight. Is there anyone that intrigues you the most that you would want to do that with? Or are you just kind of being diversified in the first round and whatever? Because it's rare to have a slate where you could just be like, oh, if I want 60% Giannis, I can have 60% Giannis. That's rare on our site.
It is, and for me, he's on the outside looking in. I think these top 4 are their own tier. I'm gonna have to. I haven't had a chance to actually like sit in and draft my teams, so I want to know what people are doing. So I'm gonna do that after this, time permitting, because I think Wemby is actually ADP 3 tonight. But I kind of like how I have it.
Okay.
Anthony Davis with JJ as head coach. I mean, he wants to play through AD. And so AD is getting more, I think the intention is for AD to have, more usage this season. I mean, we're seeing it thus far, plus the stock upside with AD. I think this Suns team is a very favorable matchup for him. So like, I don't want to be way underweight Wemby if I'm just like getting AD over Wemby all day long. But
yeah, that is it's a classic spot that like we've talked about over the last 2 years, that it's like you just attack Nurkic, right? Like that you just that's the spot. And yeah, it's kind of like our evergreen narrative about centers versus the Hornets, that's like a spot that you can just like go ahead and anecdotally boost a bit, right? This is an interesting one. Mr. T saying, yeah, AD was shooting threes in the preseason, and then in the first night he just didn't really, which was interesting. But he is shooting threes now, which is, I mean, obviously really good to turn one of the most dominant paint bigs in basketball into a stretch one as well. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I was gonna throw it out there, the hot take that like, we finally have like the big 5 on the slate. Like, are we? I don't think like, I'm sorry that like I might be like forgetting. Like, we're not really missing, right? Like, this top 5 is like the big 5 on our platform, right? Like, we're not missing anybody. I was thinking like, is it about time that we say AD has like top 3 consideration when all 5 of these guys are on the slate, given this new look Lakers team with JJ at head coach? Like, I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, especially given the matchup. Yeah, I like where you're at. I tend to agree with you. I mean, like, Wemby's going to project better on like multiple sites, but like Wemby's so volatile in terms of like the minutes and that sort of stuff. Yeah, no SGA. No SGA on the slate.
And I would take it. And I would take AD over SGA. Yeah.
All right, Nez, let's hop in and just see what it looks like on the fly here. Talk through it a little bit.
Let's go through we're going to do a main draft for the people wanting to follow along. Good luck, because there's always robots in at any given time. Yeah, it's snap filled.
Oh yeah.
Go figure.
All right, we roll that coveted 3 spot here. We got friends and family.
It's gonna
there.
be a
We
quick
got,
one, man, because these are all auto drafters.
Jordan's in there, Chris is in there, Goat Hopper's in there, Edie and Threeb venturing over from the Dawg Bowl streets to join us here. Jay Galladay, who you see in the NBA streets a good amount as well. This is friends and family.
Yeah, how about it? I mean, speaking of SGA and the Thunder, man, when they get Hartenstein back, they're already a nasty team.
Yeah.
Thunder man, getting Hart back.
Yeah.
It's a very, very dangerous team in the West.
Yeah, and they're missing the other Williams too, Jalen Williams right now.
Yeah,
as well. Jay Will, and J Dub.
That's right.
Yeah, man, they're a good basketball team. Like they were no joke last year. They were no fluke as to why one of the youngest teams in all of the NBA was also damn near a 1 seed. Were they the 1 seed or the 2 seed last year?
I think they ended up getting the 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the decision point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I won't fight you on the AD stuff.
Yeah, I think we should do it.
Right.
Until proven otherwise. It would have been nice to get a 5 or 6 to see what Chris is up to. Looks like he's going to draft by hand this time, but yeah, to me, 1 through 4, and obviously, I think Jan. Ooh, so Goat Hop is going to roll with the projections and take Trey over Giannis.
Yeah, it's not going to be me tonight. I get it though. Like Trey's handling role without
against the Wiz too. Yeah.
Yeah, Trey against the Wiz without like half his team. It's going to look nice.
I think Tatum, man. Maybe you could probably. I wouldn't do Tatum over Giannis, but I think Tatum right now, the way that he's playing, definitely is flirting with, that level of conversation too. So here's my ranks right now, but Paolo looks really interesting, and maybe some negative correlation there. What would you do?
I'd take Paolo. I like Paolo tonight. I mean, I can see the case for all these guys here. I wanted to talk about like Cade, how like the additions of both, just some professional basketball players on that team now has kind of like elevated him a little bit. Like, we don't think about like Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. as being like a big deal, but like, they're real life basketball players opposed to like some of the stuff he's played with last year. Yeah. I'm good with I'm good with Cade. I'm good with Spida. I'm good with Scotty Barnes. Depending where you look, the projection models are going to push you in a given direction. So
you mentioned Spida. Let's do him. I don't think I've been taking him a ton yet.
It's hard. It's hard because that offense like can go one of 4 ways every single night. It's the same way we talked about them last year, except for this year they might be pace up, and that could be a little bit more fun. That being said, it's like I get playoff Donovan and playoff Jimmy buckets are different than regular season versions of them, like the ceiling wise. Mr. TD brings up a good point. Pistons aren't getting blown out like they were last year too, so like the Cade run doesn't stop as early.
Yeah, the ETR NBA guys made an interesting point, just a little bit of bro science, but like they're like Pistons, I think, are done getting embarrassed and tanking. I mean, the Tobias Harris signing probably was evidence of that. So
yeah,
they're a team to look out for just as far as like drafts. Like I don't think that they're gonna get blown out as much for sure. Kyrie next in ADP, but I don't agree with that.
I would take Booker here. I was a little overweight the Dame stuff. The Dame spot is obviously not good. Like guards flowchart versus Boston is just like bad in a vacuum. I think I will have Booker here because in the off chance that Beal doesn't go tonight with the Q tag, you just get that point Booker, and that handling role is like worth so much more.
So with Beal out, is he still going to be point Booker because they still have Tyus?
They still have Tyus. Yeah, you just get a little bit more of it through like
the Booker's due for a big game though. He's not had a hot start to the season at all.
I mean, they made the same mistake with the personnel decisions as last year. Like you give the handling role to somebody else, and it's like, I guess.
I'm just going to throw Jalen Johnson there, but
yeah, I'm good with Jalen Johnson tonight, especially if we, know Emeka Okongwu already and maybe know Hunter again there. it feels good. Jamal homecoming narrative at Toronto is always a fun one. Front end back to back. So you maybe get the limited version of Joker before a nationally televised game tomorrow. So like Jamal does a little extra work in the homecoming narrative. So yeah.
See, that's true, and maybe you watch up for Jamal next tomorrow night because he's kind of what the hammy for Jamal that's been like a thorn in his side.
Last game of the preseason, he tweaked something. Yeah.
Yes, and I think they want to be pretty careful with that. So, and the GOAT Sam Olsen also is like a big time Jamal Murray hater. I think I've seen like Nick, Pam obviously be a Jamal Murray hater. So that has me like, okay, if Sam and Nick don't like Jamal Murray, you're out of here, dude. I'm not gonna fade those guys.
Mr. TD alluding to the Franz Q tag. Yup.
Okay, go hot pick and pull.
Through that one a little bit.
I see you, John. Okay.
Yeah, there's the Bane one. So here's your boy Kuzma staring you in the face. It's a little bit of game correlation there. If you want to keep clicking the Kuzma, I'm cool with it. We didn't talk about Utah all that much yet, but their rotation runs so deep. But Laurie in the 6th feels like theft. Probably don't want to pair Jared Allen on this team, so I'd say Kuzma or Lowry, but your pick.
We'll go Kuz.
Yeah, let's scroll a little bit just for half a second there to see who's left.
Sorry, it's gone.
Yeah, it goes so fast.
I'm gonna pull up the board. I popped it out just in time,
nice.
So we can get an idea. So he went Franz, I think, maybe for the swap.
Yeah, I mean, Franz, if he goes, will probably project slightly better than being like a 6th round pick there, just because, pace up Indiana spot. But on a slate this deep, Franz before the Q tag was going in like the 4th or the 5th, but I wasn't subscribing to it kind of deal. So I don't think there's like a ton of leverage in taking the Q tag there, especially when just take Pascal instead on the other side, or
this is kind of, as we talk about how deep this is, just some guys that let's just try to point out some guys that have gone undrafted here. Did Hallie go?
Hallie goes in the last round there. Yeah, he had 0 fucking points last game. I don't know, man. Hallie in the Olympics, Hallie in the postseason last year. Hallie just won't create his own shot anymore. I don't get it. He will not put it up. He was such a good distributor. Like he was kind of like poor man's. I don't know. I was gonna say poor man's Trey at like one point there, where it was like he was so good at getting the threes off and so good at distributing and everything funneled through him.
He was really good for a while.
Yeah, and then in the postseason last year, it was like Nemhard was the guy doing that, and Nemhard was the guy taking the big shots. And I just don't. I don't know. Hallie's odd, man. He had a really good front
Chris
end of last year, and that's
I don't know what it is. It's just weird. Like you just no ceiling at all, and I'm not gonna have any.
Yeah.
And against Orlando tonight too. I don't think this is the night to play Hallie personally. I mean, I'm not trying to rag on EDN. We're just talking about Hallie in a vacuum here. He's not in my top 36. Yeah,
but if he ended up playing like 35 minutes, this game was a little up tempo. There was no Franz, and he went like 23, 3, and 9. You wouldn't be surprised. And he had like 2 stocks. You'd be like, oh, okay, Hallie's back. So it's just so funny, man. But the Suggs matchup obviously is tough.
It is tough, and they run deep, and Hallie's not being aggressive. Like, I do not like it in my top 36. Personally.
I generally like my top 36 basketball players to shoot the fucking basketball. Like that's just that's just me. But like
that's John. That's fair. That is
non-derogatory. That's fair. Let's rip one more of those, or one of the hashtag bit models. I haven't even looked at the hockey slate, so the bit might not be that great today. So maybe let's just do one more hoops and then call her. That's Snoke.
That's Snoke.
That's Snoke. That's Snoke.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks
Thanks
you
for joining
for
up.
joining up, dude. We appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Love it. Yeah, we had Jack join up. We had Tyler gift one out. We had That's Noakes join up. We had Big Snacks join up, and then we had Car Park donate 5 today. So what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new membies on a Monday here for Winner's Circle. Great stuff. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, that notification bell. We'll be here 2 p.m. Eastern every single day this week, ripping shows. Nez and I kind of talking behind closed doors. He's still got a lot of stuff going on there with the house move and the baby and stuff. So maybe a couple solo run, roto runs this week, which means I could slough them behind the paywall for the people too. So added benefit of becoming a member there. At least 2 paywall shows this week. Nez did the famous no strip Nez on Friday still. So that's good stuff. Yeah.
I'm excited to see if we get Wemby 3 here. We do. Okay.
So yeah. So models like Wemby 3. Shout out to JGFC, only dudes who could get them in the basketball streets. Love it, bro. Become a multi-sport drafthlete, man.
Hell of a
multi-sport draftletes out here. So we just saw Trey go up at 5 in this very spot. Falco's a good player behind us. He almost undoubtedly will take Trey, but you like Giannis ahead of it, right?
I think so, right? Like I don't want to overthink that. Like if Giannis is on the slate, these are the only guys going ahead of him, really. Okay. Boner, Braun, Paolo. We took Paolo here. Boner wasn't here, but we went Paolo over LeBron. I think this is Boner.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the Portland matchup, the Portland game, we didn't really talk about it, right? Like Kings are supposed to be pace up, you know. Going against Boner is like not the worst spot in the world for opposing fives. So like Ayton in the 6th round.
Yeah.
You know, not crazy there, but yeah. Okay, so that's knock.
Okay.
That's knock. There we go.
That's knock, baby.
That's knock. There you go. We're on it now. Asking about the jaw move tonight. Clay wants to know your specific opinion. Doesn't want to know mine. Just yours, Nez.
Well, because I'm the Instalytics guy, John, and I don't know if you know this. Jaw is highly active on Instagram Live.
Bang bang.
Yeah, I think late 6th only for me, Clay. We kind of talked about it as we opened up hoops. If you want to scroll back, okay. Cat goes. I've been doing Brunson here,
dude. I like Brunson. If we get no heart tonight and Cleveland's actually a little bit pace up. Traditionally speaking, they're a really good defensive team, but.
Right.
New coaching staff. We'll see what it looks like over the next couple of weeks here. Cleveland's been playing okay ball to start the season. So, but the Brunson ceiling game, like we haven't seen it yet. He just needs to shoot more. And I think right now they're deferring to Cat a little too much, trying to appease the new acquisition.
Yeah. I think so. And the Brunson ceiling is always going to be a factor. Okay.
Dame's kind of a line in. Yeah, he's kind of a line in the sand for me. Dame's kind of like the end of a tier. Although I don't love the matchup. I think Nick said something smart in the chat about said matchup.
It is $2, but like these guys are the offense, so.
Right. Also thought guards versus Boston is bad, but Poole and Cade both had very solid games against them, so it could be a lie. Very well could be. But
yeah, I didn't have a lot of Cade that night, but
yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So, yeah, Book I think is an interesting one. Butler getting a lot of love here, which like I was surprised on. I thought he was going to be like a pretty sneaky one for me in that spot, but clearly not.
There's Jalen Johnson getting pushed up, huh?
Damn. I didn't think I'd see him at pick 23.
The hashtag models, man. The models love them. When you just fuck around with the minutes a little bit and, you know, he can get a couple extra boards and stuff. I like the Jamal narrative. I get it that like people don't want to go to it because he's banged up or whatever. But like Jamal feels like a start tier break here.
Against the Raptors, we could have a Jamal night. The
For sure,
Raptors
right.
the Raptors are terrible.
Yeah. Raptors are bad, and they're playing like decently fast too, where they had been.
Yeah. No, they're a fun spot.
And I mean, like RJ Barrett, I think it's a little soon for him. He did travel on the last road trip, and now they're back home, so there was some hope that he could potentially get in. Yeah, let's do some scrolling here. Did Jordan Poole go?
No, I like Poole a lot here.
Yeah, I like Poole. I like Ja in the 6th. Pascal's fine. Lowry's fine. Desmond Bain, if you don't think Ja's gonna go, you can get ahead of, but you can kind of do whatever. Yeah, you got cheeky with a little Sexton stuff there.
I was just checking up on his minutes. I hadn't he's always like somebody that I like to keep an eye on. I didn't realize how few minutes he played.
Yeah, they play so deep. Utah plays so deep in the rotation, so hard to project on each given night. I'll give you another scroll from that who's actually been playing some good ball from that team is our beloved Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler's actually been playing some nice ball, getting some stocks in there. I don't know that it's probably a little too deep of a scroll on this slate to be looking for like 28 minutes from a 5. Like it doesn't matter enough. But Walker Kessler's been playing some good ball to start this year.
I think what's interesting about the Kessler shout, and I mean, he played 29 against Memphis and had a monster night, 6 stocks. They're kind of like JJJ wasn't active there, but they have like Brandon Clark and Edey. So like, I think that matchup kind of like beckoned him to play more minutes, like 9 extra more minutes. And there was OT there, I think, in that Jazz game. But
so a little bit of stat padding.
Yeah, but with the Mavs, I mean, it's either like Lively or Gafford on the court a lot. So, I think we could see some Kessler minutes there, but you obviously have to run super pure on the stock stuff. But maybe not on an 11-game slate, but just keep your eyes peeled for sure on Kessler. Like we wanted this all last season, didn't get it. Awesome rookie season. We might be getting it again here. So in the right spots, man, and on the right slates, be ready to hammer Kessler.
Yeah, I'd like to just pick your brain here a couple more minutes, Nez, before we dip out. Like some guys that you think the industry are over projecting right now that we haven't seen like ceiling from yet. So I got a couple names. Okay. Yeah. Scotty Barnes, over projected every night. Fred VanVleet, over projected every night. Halliburton, over projected every single night. Ja, over projected right now, relative to the minutes. Yeah, just kind of like thinking through some of those ones. Who else would you kind of add to that and such?
Let me look just like from tonight's standpoint. I do agree Scotty overprojected and it hurts me, but like the way that they're currently set up right now, like just a bad team and is not great for Scotty. But I think getting RJ back would be helpful. Right. Make them a little bit more respectable and then get maybe a little bit of points Scotty. But when IQ comes back, it's like it helps, but it doesn't because it's less ball handling for Scotty. So like
it helps for spacing. It helps for spacing. That's about it, right? Like IQ helps for spacing to stretch, but I don't know, man. I watched a little bit of it. I guess it was Tuesday or Thursday night last week, and like, man, he was just getting bodied. He was every one of his touches was just like lazy low block mid range stuff. Like it was like the old Pascal Siakam Toronto bullshit, and it was just replaced by Scotty. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I think I'm gonna like wait to pick my spots for Scotty. Don't like said spot tonight for him.
Okay. Easy throwing another one in the chat here that like Jimmy / Bam as overprojected guys. That's kind of been evergreen for the last year and a half there.
Yeah, where's Bam at today?
But then Jimmy smacked ceiling last time out with like 51 or something like that. So maybe I was a little too quick. Contract year, Jimmy, people talking about how, might influence a little bit. maybe Detroit's good enough now to keep that game closer than it would have been traditionally speaking. But yeah, that's another. I equate the Cavs and the Heat to being very similar in terms of like it's hard to project where scoring is going to come from on isolated nights.
100%. Yeah. So overprojected, I think you like nailed a lot of these guys. I think I don't know. Maybe underprojected is just like too much of a conversation to have, and it's way too matchup based.
Sure. Yeah.
Jalen Green being projected below Michael Porter tonight.
Ooh.
Good luck with that.
Wow. Where's that at ETR?
Mm-hmm.
I'm staring at Fantasy Life and
They're the same.
And Stochastic blended, and they have them right behind Poole and Siakam, basically the same there, but not Michael Porter.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna
the same.
Nobody's gonna touch Michael Porter tonight.
I won't.
No, rightfully so. Not on our site.
Isn't that isn't he a good Canadian kid? Maybe not good, but isn't he a Canadian kid?
Michael Porter Jr. No.
Oh, why'd I think that?
I don't know. Probably just because he has a sweet name.
That must be it.
Yeah, here the Jalen Johnson stuff is going to be an evergreen talking point tonight. I think so much hinges on missing minutes from like Brogdon, Hunter, Emeka, because he's a guy who's going to like push up. There you go. He's a Seattle kid. There you go. Directionally accurate, Nez.
That's right. That must be why. I knew I was getting region vibes there. I mean, yeah.
I want to ask you last one, Portland. Portland, this would potentially be like a pace-up spot. Second night of a back-to-back. Grant absolutely cooked last night. Ayton gets like a good matchup, traditionally speaking, going against Boner. Yeah, and then Paid asking in the chat, like, Anthony Simons kind of deal. I'm fine with it in the sixth round. I think I would prefer Simons, Ayton, Grant. Like I believe what we've seen from Grant the first two times out, but like Grant did this last year too. Who was the other guy who did it last year? Your boy starts with a B. Blanton. Blanton did it last year too when everybody was out too. That 4 spot just cooks for the Portland sometimes. Crazy, man. It's just all the stocks.
Yeah. He just like all of a sudden getting stocks out the ass, which is just like, it's crazy. It's going to boost them up a ton. Yeah, is it me or is like Portland like low key deep rotationally, or am I just?
They are.
Yeah.
No, they are. I'll bring up the popcorn machine real quick here, but yeah, they got a lot of bodies right now. Yeah, or else we would be getting like some fun, like expanded role stuff. But like, yeah, they went last night. They went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 deep. Okay, and then blowout run for like the Blanton group, Duop, Reith, like those kind of guys. So they were only 9 deep while the game was competitive last night. So that's not terrible. But yeah, Simons, Denny Avia, Scoot Henderson off the bench. They started Kamara last night, which is, I guess, fine because they were playing the Pels and they were playing Daniel Theis, who's not a traditional 5, but at least has size that you have to match.
They're not good, but they don't strike me as terrible.
Yeah.
But they're not good. I mean, they're double-digit dogs in sack tonight.
So on a back-to-back. So it's like you could easily tell me the story that you just crossed them off your list, or you could easily tell me the story that if they somehow find a way to make this game competitive, that one guy matters. But
yeah,
I'd rather take like, I don't know. Another one I was thinking in the last round is if we get no Ja, does JJJ get enough expanded minutes tonight to matter? Like, he's a stocks king. He gets a little more offensive usage with them gone, or would you rather just play Desmond Bane?
I think I would do Bane.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to rush JJJ back.
Yeah. I mean, like, he played 24, I think, first time out. So, traditional split 5 run. But yeah.
It's gonna be a fun one.
All right. Let's tie a bow on it there, Nez. Best of luck to everybody in the NBA streets tonight. We will be coming back tomorrow. I think it might just be that's what happened here. This is fancy.
Is it the brand thing? This fucking
Okay.
This new StreamYard stuff. We can mess with our brands
Look around, find out, baby. Yo, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Underdog. We need some circle overlays.
Dude, those are kind of fun. I could mess around with that for the solo stuff.
Yeah, how about it?
There you go. All right, guys. Still 100 and some odd of us hanging out here. Shout out to Fully Loaded, who took down a slate. Oh, wow. And we went to like blue boxes now, too. Holy smokes. We're going to have to mess around with this.
Yeah, you can change the color and everything.
Okay, cool. We'll do that. Any plans for new/more shows? We'll be doing the same thing this week, 2 p.m. Eastern throughout. I think Wednesday will be Wednesday's my birthday. Nice. I think Wednesday will probably be the two of us. I think tomorrow will just be me. Thursday, maybe we find a guest or we run a paywall based on if there's a PTP up or not. But I think this is kind of the vibe going forward, guys. We'll try and jam as many sports as we can on a given night. Talk, decently sophisticated. It's hard to be completely dialed when you're playing like 5-6 different sports. There's a lot of reliancy on other people's work and other people's projections and that sort of thing. But we'll give our thoughts and talk through some ball knowing associated with it. But multi-sport draft league season in full swing right now. We'll be here 2 p.m. Eastern for every day other than Friday, which will be 2:30 with Pete Overzet there. The Halloween costumes. If you guys want my take on Halloween, don't worry, it's coming. Des will remember my Halloween takes. Oh man, there's a tipping point there. But Rocket Sauce is correct. Mr. Good Boy, he's got a Mr. Good Boy of his own in the picture there. Mr. Good Boy is waiting. Thanks to our guy Dan for hopping on there. Love to see early success from a clearly sharp player making his own projections in this industry. Look forward to hanging out with him at the Dawg Bowl there. Any other parting words for the people, Ness?
No, I will see you in the lobbies. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. And shout out Dan. Congratulations, man.
Love it. And then shout out to Rocket or Hot Sauce and Crutches, who are going to be battling to the death in the Gladiator Arena for who gets a Dawg Bowl seat. That is a very cool wrinkle that I never saw coming. So very cool stuff there. Anyways, back tomorrow on behalf of Nez and myself and the good people at Underdog, everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace.